Yes, and I think it's not like that every officer is in touch with the corruption.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
it's around 2 years back, because in my own village there is a bridge that hasn't been built since independence, and there was an IS officer. He commit when he visit our home. I mean, our village. He commit that he would visit this village when he will get the permission to build the bridge, and he came around later 6 months, and he come with the permission that this bridge would be built, and now that bridge has been almost complete, and now
Mm.
that officer has been promoted as a commissioner of our this big call mandal. So
That's great.
some officers are very great.
You are Mr. Rajpal.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct. Good morning, ma'am.
Very good morning. Very good morning. Good to see you here on my screen. Mr. Rajpal, as we are connecting for the very first time, would you mind to tell me the place you are connected from?
Yes, ma'am. So this is Rajpal from UP, and I have completed my master with political science. My hobbies are reading books, diary writings, and playing badmintons. And apart from all of these things, I'm preparing for the civil services. So this is about.
You have done masters in political science.
Yes, ma'am.
And you play badminton.
Yes, it's my hobby.
That's great. That's great. And apart from that, you mentioned something else also.
Yes, I mentioned about the civil service. I'm preparing for the civil service.
Yeah, yes. Now I got to know. You are preparing for civil services exam. And Mr. Rajpal, uh, can you narrate something about your story? Like you did your master's in political science. Was at that time in your mind that you would someday sit for UPSC?
Ma'am, this is, it was a kind of my childhood dream. It
Oh,
developed, it developed in 2012. I was a little bit, you can say that young, but not so much. At first time, I saw a district collector because there was flood in my village. So I saw his positions, and in the manner he was taking the action, because my whole village was merged with the waters, the flood. So I saw his power. He was taking very sweet action, and so I got to know that, oh, this is the power of the district collector, and how he can take the actions to impact and to bring the difference in the people life. So I thought that I have to be that kind of the person. And my hobby is also reading the newspaper. So I used to read the newspaper. So I every day, whenever I read the newspaper, so I just visit the page where is the mention of the district collector. Because they visit, the so many departments. So I love to read about them, and so gradually it's become a kind of the aim for me.
hmm. That's great. So that collector someday he became your inspiration. And
Yes.
there is no denial that if you use your powers in a very correctful manner, you can bring lots of change in the society. Because you have power, the
Yes.
problem with the system is that power is not utilized by some in the rightful manner. So there is some societal issue, you can say.
Yes.
Yes.
Because when someone gets the power, so more than the power, there is a responsibility to hold it. Because even nowadays, there is a kind of buzz. So many IS officers, have been indulged in the corruption cases. So I think having the power is the different thing, but holding it and taking it for the well-being of the people, it is a totally different thing.
Power always comes with the responsibilities.
Yes.
We people or the commoners suffer only because of this imbalance created between the power and its rightful utilization and the, you can say coming up with the responsibilities by that particular person concerned. In many cases, power is used just to, you can say, suppress the people or to use it for their own benefits or to impart benefits to some specific section of the society only. not to the commoners or who really deserve it, who really need it.
Yes. And I think this is like we have seen so many times that when someone gets the so much power, so there is a high chances that that person may be misuse it. And the recent case is from the Jharkhand, where a lady officer took out around 20 crores rupees from a businessman, and he was arrested later on. But when these kind of incidents happen, so somewhere I mean that these incident downgrades are motivations, and that because people ask us that you are preparing for the civil services, but so many officers are there, they are taking the drive. So what will you make, and how much money will you take after cracking this exam, and what will we, and how much dowry would we like to take in your marriage? So these kind of the questions as an aspirant we face like. And so yes, I think a counter of all of these things are very, I would say, some become very complicated even for me personally, because incidents are very true. Even we are in the age where the social media is there, so everyone know what is happening there. So people ask that you are preparing for the civil services, but officers are corrupted, and is there any guarantee that you will not go into that? So this is, I think, new kind of thinking among the people. And I think this is the right that people are being aware that nowadays not just the politicians but the officers are also being indulged in the corruption cases.
And Rajpal, as you are quite aware of this thing and people around you, they also ask you the same thing. Because it has become a sort of notion or impression in the minds of the people that bureaucrats, they always they're after money. They take bribes, hefty amounts, and that way they make money. What is your take on it? Why do they do it? Or do you think that they are left with no choice? Or is there any pressure? They do it under pressure, or because they realize that they have the power, they can utilize this power to mint money? What is your take on it? Why do they do it? We know it, everybody there out of 10, definitely, if not more, two or three, or 1% definitely is there who is, you know, dedicated towards his duties or his responsibilities. But we have that kind of impression that out of 10, 9 people we can't trust upon. What do you think? Why though there are 2 out of 10 who are doing it, why do they do it? Do they come in the civil services just to collect the money only?
Just, well, there are, I mean, different perspective. Somewhere I think the societal pressure also make them corrupt, because we all know in the civil services an IS officer is not so much salary, and when you become the district collector, so we get just really around less than 1 lakh salary, and people think that we are in this position, so we have so much salary, so people start expectation with us, uh, luxury house, luxury cars, like that kind of the status. People perceive that, but this is not in the real case. And of course I think the political pressure is also always there with the bureaucracy, and so many persons are there, they just go to this service just only for making the money. And this is real, and this is the real. And of course like having the too much money, having the huge status in the society, everyone like that. Even we can say very inconsistent relation between the politicians and the bureaucrats, bureaucrats. Like sometimes it's happened that the minister make the pressure over the district collector, and of course so higher officer, just to make their work. So pressure is there. Sometimes it's happened that thing like that. Corruption is taking the place, but in very confidential way. Earlier when we were not so digitalized, so there was open corruption, but now it's the hidden corruption.
Hmm. Right. So that way we can say to be a civil servant is highly challenging
Yes.
because whenever anybody or any young adolescent child starts thinking of that in future that person wants to become a civil servant, I think the beginning always begin with like the person wants to serve for the nation, wants to do something for the underprivileged people who are deprived of their rights. Beginning always takes place in that very shape. But with the passage of time, or when they come in power due to societal pressure or the pressure by the politicians, and might be some other hidden kind of reasons also, that a number of times I feel even the honest persons who really want to dedicate themselves to the for the nation, I think under certain circumstances, maybe they are forced or they are compelled, you can say, or if not that way, then they are trapped to be a part of this whole nexus or the system, whatever it is.
Yes, and I think it's not like that every officer is in touch with the corruption.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, yes.
it's around 2 year back, because in my own village there is a bridge that hasn't built since independence, and there was an IOS officer. He commit when he visit our home. I mean our village. He commit that he would visit this village when he will get the permission to build the bridge, and he came around later 6 months, and he come with the permission that this bridge would be built, and now that bridge has been almost complete, and now
Mm.
that officer has been promoted as a commissioner of our this big call mandal. So
That's great
some officers are very great.
that you are on to YouTube also. And how do you spare the time to have these kinds of conversations when your mind is already blocked somewhere, occupied for some other stuff also, very important stuff?
Yes, actually, this is very challengeable for me, and I have seen the result of this because last month I had the exam for the civil services, and I took
You
one.
had the exam. You sat for the exam. Okay.
Yes, I
And
appeared.
how has it been?
Yes, ma'am. So there are the two papers we have to clear them, both of them, and there was one paper which I took so slightly. I would say overconfidence, and so I failed in that, and then I realized, and I recalibrate that where I made the mistake. So I found that somewhere I took my studies so slightly, and like these platforms are there where I used to spend around 2 hours per day. That was not so good. I think because I create my own YouTube channel, and I came on these platforms just to polish my personality, because I think I'm very certain that I would clear this exam. So I thought there should be personality development within me, because I'm originally from the village background, and so I switched to the city. So I thought, because I don't have I didn't have that kind of environment to to build up my personality. So I thought that I should go there, but to some extent, I would say it become detrimental for me to be so much active on these platform, and the time which I should have spent on my the paper in which I failed, and I spent on these platform. So I got the result of that, and now I'm realized, and I have taken some massive steps to crack down my activities where I was spending such a lavish time. And so
Mm.
and now come
We
to
always learn from our own mistakes.
yes, this is I think my one of the best quality. I never excuse to anyone else except me.
Mm. That's great. That's great. Would you like to mention anything else? Tell me something about your family, like your siblings. Are they studying, and what is their bent of mind? What they have become or they want to become in their lives? What do your dad or mom they do?
So I just mentioned I'm from the village. So my father is the farmer. I used to work with him, but last year he told me that he should just keep the focus on his study. So he switched me from village to city. So he is just at the village, and my sister is preparing for also competitive exam. And my other
Your
siblings.
sister is also preparing for competitive exam.
Yes, yes. And my other
What
siblings,
kind of?
that is the state level exam, state police, like that.
Okay.
Because in the village, we always prefer to the government job. We don't
Hmm.
keep focus on the private sector like businesses. We don't. Those who are in the village, they know very well that for us, I think that having the government job is like a kind of a privilege. Because in the village doesn't mean how much money you have. People don't look at you as a with the respect eyes. If you have the government job, people will look at you very respected person. Otherwise, we have. It doesn't mean that I don't have. We don't have the money. We have the money, but people have the different kind of the feelings because having the government job is like in the huge status for us.
It means you have a good status. Earlier, I didn't have the idea that people they think like this. So I really wish that your sister should also get through the competitive exam and may your dreams also come true because you are already putting in lots of efforts and your mindset is very much positive. You are very much confident. And when person is aware of his limitations, like in your case, you yourself mentioned that these have been your limitations, and now you are thorough about it, and you want to get rid of all these things, and that's why you are preparing yourself to build up your personality. One thing I want to like my dad is the first thing. If your dad is a farmer, then you should be proud of it because I'm proud of all the farmers. It is because of the farmers that we are getting food. It is made in our kitchen, and I always take farmers at the top because of their efforts, their hard work in the field, because they keep on working, whatever is the environment or weather around, whether it is a scorching heat or it is a, you can say dense fog days, they work since morning till evening in the fields. That's why we people, they satisfy our, satiety for food. So hats off to all the farmers. You should always be proud of it. Mention it always by taking pride in it. Yes, my dad is a farmer and I help my father in the fields also. And another thing I have seen in my this journey so far onto this platform that youngsters like you who come from the village kind of background or who don't have that much privilege because of their rural background, I have seen they shine more as compared to the youngsters living in the cities.
Yes, yes, you are true. And sometimes people ask me that on whom do you trust more, whether because sometimes people ask me what is your preference to respect, but I always prefer to the farmer and the soldier because they are really the farmer is protecting us inside the country and the our soldier are protecting us on the border. So they are, I think,
Yes,
real hero.
yes, yes. We are proud of our farmers and our soldiers.
Where are you from? Where you belong?
I belong to Punjab.
Yes,
Are
I
you
was
aware of?
guessing. I was guessing.
Okay,
I was anticipating.
because of my Punjabi accent.
No, because your name is the Kawaljit Kaur, so I thought that it might be. And nowadays, I think my guess is going very correct. Before talking to someone else, I just take the guess, and thank to God that my guess is going to correct.
I think credit must be given to this platform also because on daily basis to talk to different people. So with the passage of time and with practice, we start, we get acquainted with the kind of personality and the person that area belongs to. So that could be one of the reasons. And in case of our Punjabi names, most of the Punjabis they have either girls core or if they are gents, they have Singh this surname in most of the cases. So that way your guess is very much correct. That
But
was correct.
but as of now, where I'm living, it's at the Punjabi colony.
Sorry?
As of now, where I'm living on my room, so it is also Punjabi colony. So many Sikhs are there.
Okay, okay,
There is the
okay.
Gurdwara.
Near the Gurdwara. Okay. You are living here on rent? You are preparing for your examination preparation, I think.
Yes, yes.
You are living in some city area at this very moment when you are talking to me?
Yes, I'm in the city.
Okay, okay. So great, great, great. So
Ma'am,
Rajpal, yes, yes.
I would like to know about my feedback. Where should I work on?
You feedback in what respect? As a person, as a youngster, or
As
so far as this language is concerned?
yes, from the regardless with my communication skills, because we have talked around 25 minutes, so I think you have.
Communication, okay, okay. I would take you in totality. Um you converse very well because I think I'm not the right person to ask this kind of question because I'm not someone from the English kind of background. I live in Punjab and I have studied in my regional language also. Though these days I'm working on my language or you can say my communication skills. So that way I'm not the expert person, but as a layman, I can simply mention that before connecting with you, I didn't have that kind of idea, like the kind of person I'm going to connect with, and that you mentioned that you want to sit for the civil services examination. That faded out of my mind, frankly speaking. So before connecting with you, it was altogether blank. So I didn't have the idea in what direction, in what way this conversation will go. Will it be very interactive and enjoyable, kind of? Rajpal, you speak well. That way you have come, if this was my expectation, you have come up to this level. And you can go to any level because sky is the limit. And moreover, you are well informed kind of person. You are well aware of your aspirations and you know how to fulfill it. Actually, I'm a person who belongs to an arena of education. I have always been in the company of youngsters like you. The young boys and girls from 17 years to 24 years for the last more than 30 years. This is the kind of environment I always am surrounded with. So I can read out their minds very well and I can immediately tell that in what direction this young one is going. So I feel that way that it is not only a language which matters a lot. Our confidence and our mindset, they play a very important role so far as the development of our personality is concerned. It is not important whether you are conversing to somebody in English or if you are making less mistakes or you are making more mistakes. Important thing is when you are expressing yourself, what kind of content you are bringing on the table. Did you get
Yes,
it? This is
yes, sir.
very important because whenever we talk, take this thing that we are working on English, we want to convert somebody in English. It's not just simply taking any content and making sentence. It is expression, and expression always comes from your inside. What you are within you, what is there within you that comes, you bring on the table. That thing is very important. It's not important that I converse with you making correct sentences without making errors or mistakes. No. Important thing is with what intensity I'm bringing that content before you. So that way I feel that, of course, you speak very well and you are full of content related to your dreams, your responsibilities, your duties, and earlier that was in my mind because this your ID reflects as a nation first. I couldn't make out is this person I'm going to connect with the nationalist, is some biased kind of person, but now I could get it why you have mentioned this as a nation first because it seems I can have the innovation that in future when you will become a civil servant you will definitely try to do something, not something, lot more for your nation, because for you, your nation comes first.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Actually, ma'am, this is the earlier I had labeled my name on my profile, but someday back I was listening a song that was based on the Bhagat Singh. So and I was reading something about him. So there was a question came in front of him that between his religion or his nation. So he said, because in the Sikhism I think it's a belief that the Jew people, those who are from the Sikh community, they never shave their beard. And so
sorry?
I'm saying in the Sikhism, the people uh, always make the distance by shaving their beard.
Beard.
Yeah.
Huh?
So when the same question Baj asked with the Bhagat Singh, so he said that he's ready to save his beard because for him the nation is first. Because when he was planning to take on the Britisher, so I thought that I think the religion never should be on our first priority. It should be, I think, on the second priority. The nation should be on the first priority, and I don't know why, but having the nationality of India, I always love it. And for me, I think it is like we are, so privileged person that we are born in India. Otherwise, we can look at any country so much. No country has the so much diversities, language, culture, but we have that kind of. So I think it's always attracted me. So
That's great.
I also had my profile picture that I also changed because I have decided that until I cover my all loophole till Deepavali, I would not upload any my profile picture on the Skype or any other social media platform wherever I'm active. Like I'm just use my WhatsApp and the Skype. Otherwise, I don't use any social media site. And so like that, I have cut off from myself. This is, I think, my, you can say, resolve to fight against within me, because these things are
Hmm.
attractive. Because when we look at the someone else, I mean our friends, so they are doing so great, even they are very well established in their career, so it attracted me a lot. So I thought first of all I should go away from them, then I would be totally concentrate my own here.
So great, great, Rajpal. Great. Good to connect with you. I really enjoyed this conversation. And in fact, I could get the opportunity to connect to a very intellectual person. And whenever I used to have the sessions, sometimes I get disappointed, but in general, I always try to get something out of that conversation. So it has been very fruitful for me. Thanks for sparing time and giving me this opportunity to connect with you and to have such a lovely conversation and to acquaint myself with your kind of perspective as well. So, with all the best wishes, I would like to wrap up this session over here.
Yes.
And so, with
Yes.
all the best wishes, thank you very much.